Hi everybody. In the last video we finished putting the vinyl onto the new left piece of the panel, and now it is time to install. So the one thing about these panels, and I'm kind of curious about to see what everyone else would be doing, I have chosen to countersunk the panel pieces so that the attached screws on the front of the panel are flat, right? So it's got that nice flat look. You can see the countersunk screws in the center panel right on the right edge of the video there. Is anyone else doing non-flush? That's what I'm curious about. Is there anyone out there that's making like a dome head look? All right, and at the same time, the second question is, I wonder if I should be like powder coating the heads of these screws white to match. So I've decided to use stainless screws so that it's at least the color that that does show of the screws is, I mean, it's contrasting, but at least it's clean, right? It matches the switches. I don't know. We'll see. One thing I did have to do that you didn't see in the video that I did off hours is, if you look at the very top there, you can see sort of a rectangular cut across the top above the G3X entry. That is for the ELT. And the measurements that ACK gives you for the ACK ELT, they're not quite big enough. You're going to need to file it down a little bit. So if you're going to, even the one that I've posted, because I've just shared a link to my Google Drive with those shape files, you might want to increase the size of that by like, oh, I don't know, 10 thousandths on each side. Just a thought. All right, so now that it is fit, it is time to add the placards. You can already see where I've added some on the right panel for the light dimmers. What I did was, I've got that Dymo 4200 label maker, which I love, and thankfully being able to buy tape that is black text on clear tape is available. So is white text on clear tape, which I will be using for the aircraft controls. And this brings up an interesting conversation, which is, what are the rules around placarding, right? I went around to each one of the club planes, and I looked inside to see exactly what happened there. Now, all the Cessnas are pretty much the same. The two that we have with the prop control. Now, the thing is, like on a Piper, it's got the big throttle quadrants. So you got plenty of room to have the instructions for both directions of travel. But in the Cessnas, like, you'll see a throttle, and it'll just say throttle, push, open. That's it, right? Pull, close is nowhere to be found. I guess you only need to put one half of the instruction. I'm pretty sure there's a FAR for this somewhere. I just don't know what it is. So I'm taking my leave from the certified planes I see around me. So the changes I've made from, well, let me just go over real quick the changes I've made from the initial panel to the one I've done here. So I've moved all the switches low, and I've regrouped the way that they're spaced. Again, that is to avoid the nut plate in the panel support structure. And I think they look pretty good. Let's see, all the switches on the left side, I've kept the spacing of them the same, but I've moved them down about an inch. And I've moved the G3Xs up as high as they possibly can go, and I'm not kidding about that. And I have to admit something right now, that was a total accident. So when I closed the panel, the front edge that covers the top of the panel stops by the G3Xs by about a 1/16 of an inch. It was a total fluke, but it works. And look at that, right? You cannot deny that that is not a beautiful looking panel. And if you look, no glare. There we get a shot of the backside. So yeah, at this point now it's time to put the shelves on. And in the next video, we're just going to keep putting this whole sucker together. and I'll talk about the trays in the back and everything else. So I'm going to let this one trail on out for now. Thank you for joining me, everyone, and see you soon.